let's be honest. How much have you actually changed in the last year? How much have you actually changed your identity and become someone different, explored into different things? You probably haven't that much. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I've changed my entire self, but I have made a lot of progress to what I wanted to do. I started posting on YouTube, and I have like 80 pieces of content. 80 long form, not just like 20-second animations or whatever. No, this is 80 long form, 10-minute talks of me just looking at the camera. And I know it doesn't seem like much, but I used to be a very shy person. I used to be an introvert. And for almost all of my life, I was stagnant in that way. I wasn't growing at all. I didn't want to become a new person. I didn't want to talk to new people. I didn't want to become an extrovert. I was so afraid of doing anything that I just stayed a quiet, shy person with not many friends. And this was until I hit a point where I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't be this person who wasn't included in all the groups. I wanted to be the popular guy. I wanted to be someone that people could respect. And for most of my life, to do that, I would, look on YouTube and be like, oh, what can I do to be cool? Or I've told this before, but an embarrassing thing I used to do was I used to search up like rap songs that were popular. And I tried to remember them so that people would be like, oh, shoot, you know that rap song? And I'd be like, yeah. And the first time that I actually changed, I actually found respect, was not when I started searching on YouTube, or was not when I started looking on Google. It was when I actually started working, and that was working on myself, working out, specifically on the ring, specifically on gymnastic rings. I was doing calisthenics, and I was working by myself, but this was before I had any training. This was before I had been told what to do. This is before I checked, any programs or anything. I had just started. And you know what that got me? That got me a confidence because I actually outputted first. I actually did something before I tried to analyze what I'm doing. For most of my life, I was just stuck in this position where I would try to analyze what could happen and see what could happen and try to predict what would happen. And the thing is, I would try to learn so much about something that I wouldn't actually do anything about it. I wouldn't make any progress. I was stuck in, they call it analysis paralysis. And this has been an important idea for me to take throughout my life. If you want to make progress in your life, if you don't want the next year to be the exact same you are right now, if you don't want to look the same, if you don't want to have the same respect that you have right now, if you want to have more confidence, you have to do output first. And this is a framework that I've implemented through my life on like a long-term and short-term scale. I call this the framework OIR, output, input, reflect. On a long-term scale, this is looking like months. I'm outputting. And like every week I'll analyze. And that's on a more long-term scale. But on every single day, you need to have the idea to output first, then input, then reflect. So every single day, right now, I wish I could show you the time, but I can't. But it's 8 o'clock right now, 8 a.m. And the first thing I'm doing is making this video. It's not me sitting around listening to a podcast or looking at a book or doing anything that's where I'm consuming content. The first thing I do always is to do the hardest thing first. You need to do the most difficult task, the thing that is actually moving you towards your goal first, not later. You do it before everything else, and then later you input. So I'll make the video first, and in the afternoon I'll start learning. I'll read a book, and I'll listen to a podcast or something like that. And then at night, every single day, I'm gonna get it right now. One second. I have this. So this is a journal, right? And I write in it every single day. Hope you can see this. I write in it every single day. I analyze what I did every single day, and I try to be better. Right? The framework I use every single day is output first, do the hardest thing first, and then in the afternoon I will learn. I will input information into my brain, and finally, right before I go to sleep, I'll reflect. I'll see what I did and how I can change. I'll take the lessons from the input and the lessons from the output and try to output better every single day. In that way, it's helped me make a ton of progress, honestly, a ton of progress. You will never get stuck thinking that you have to, oh, this is pretty productive, right? And it's just you learning and it's not doing anything. You have to output first. You have to work first. I know we all understand that. I know you in your mind, you know that, yeah, I got to do the work. That's what's going to change my life. It's not, consuming content. It's never going to be that. And it's made me so much progress, and I attribute a lot of my success just to that framework. Always remember: output, input, reflect. OIR. I hope you got something from this video. I hope you are not the same person next year.